reading. Third film of the franchise decides, you like the Death Star? We'll give you the motherfucking Death Star. Again! It's just like Jason Voorhees, that Death Star. Hey, the Death Star was a horrible failure. Let's build another one. Now, I love Jim Henson as much as the next person, but this is where the Star Wars creatures started to get that more lovable fake plastic chic look. You know, for kids.
They were no wonder.
Spiral Wrap Penis Head has a point. Jabba's looking way chunkier and realer in 1983 than the last time we saw him, which was in 1997. Also, if Leia didn't choke him, Jabba was certainly going to die from smoking green swamp heroin.
R2, look! Captain Solo. And he's still frozen in carbonite.
Thanks, 3PO!
What could possibly have come over Master Luke?
C-3PO is too smart to not understand what's going on. This scene suggests that the robots somehow behave differently when put upside down, and that they have feeling in their feet. Also, hilariously, these brands never even touch the robot's feet, despite all that steam you see shooting out. Tatooine loves a different kind of superhero, the Heil Hitler Spider-Man. The song Jedi rocks. Also, it was like Lucas was wondering, how can I possibly turn Return of the Jedi into a bad movie? Everyone here appears to be enjoying this music and this dancing. Look, I like this movie, a lot more than most, but the plan here was to send 3 waves of troops, droids, then Leia, Chewie, then Luke, when Luke is Jedi enough to not really need the help of any of the others? Makes for good cinema, sure, but as a military strategy, it's kind of stupid, considering every single person Luke sends ahead of him gets captured. Everyone else had to lie their way in here, but somehow Lando is just f***ing here already, man. Deal with it. Also, sneaking around Jabba's palace will require the removal of my mask. Why does Jabba have wind chimes in a place where there is rarely wind? Also, any plan that involves sneaking into a room with this many creatures sleeping in it is a bad plan. She may be a princess and a Jedi without knowing it, but stealth is not one of Leia's strong points, as this scene proves. Futuristic melting looks oddly like how melting might look on an Atari 2600.
I can't see.
Seems like one of the first things Leia could have said to Han was, don't say a word, silence is golden. I really don't even know why she bothered keeping the mask on, since she was doing some highly improper in Jabba's palace anyway.
Leia.
Delicate escape plan has time for a makeout session. Not only did Jabba catch Leia rescuing Han, he was hiding behind a curtain like he was expecting this. I agree that Leia's pretty hot, but how does Jabba, a giant snail/excrement pile, get turned on by human women? Crime boss that has been chasing Han for years immediately puts him in a cell with his right-hand man Chewie.
Jedi mind.
Jedi mind trick is the same in Tuddies and English.
Master Luke, you're standing on...
Even though 3PO gets interrupted, Luke ignores the warning he might be standing on something unsafe. Luke tries to force pull himself a blaster, and Jabba somehow beats him to the punch. But more importantly, why did Luke try to force pull a damn blaster? Does he not have a lightsaber? Jesus, this is the worst rescue plan ever. I mean, can you imagine how short this fight would be if Luke had his lightsaber with him? Can Luke not Jedi mind trick this thing? That thing looks pretty weak-minded. He's not even trying to make him think, this is not the food I'm looking for. Luke sticks the bone in horizontally, but it's a perfect vertical jaw prop in the next shot. Why is there any kind of electronic door down in this dungeon? Just to f*** with people who think they found a way to escape? Magic Gate appears out of nowhere in this sequence, giving Luke the proper gate ex machina he needs. Luke throws the skull instead of just using the Force to sling it. You could argue that Luke highly underused the Force in this battle. Star Wars succumbs to subliminal ad placement and allows Joe Camel to hawk cigarettes during the movie.
In his belly you will find a new definition of pain and suffering, as you are slowly digested over 1,000 years.
Luckily, I'll die of hunger, thirst, any number of things in just a few days, so the 1,000 years thing is overkill, unless I'm being fed and watered while I'm down there. Thank God for the special editions, so I can have this shot of the herd of f***erams to help set the emotional stage for the Sarlacc scene. R2-D2.
Just stick close to Chewie and Lando.
Han should be freaking out at the mere mention of Lando, the dude that sold him out in the last movie, because he got sold out and then went to sleep and literally just got up a few minutes ago and should still f***ing hate Lando.
I've taken care of everything.
Oh, great.
Han acts like Luke isn't the guy who murdered the f***ing Death Star. In order to fall into the pit of the Sarlacc, you must walk a plank first. As we soon see, the plank becomes a perfect way to ex machina this real quick. This takes forever, and none of the bad guys kill Luke while he's flipping around or waiting for his lightsaber to fall in his hands. On the other end of this, why didn't Luke command that thing to come to him faster? Also, I see, the lightsaber was hidden inside R2-D2, because you assumed it'd be better to have it now than back in Jabba's lair where you could have smoked all the fools in seconds. Gotcha. Even the Tatooine Wilhelms suffered tragedy. None of these assholes can aim or shoot at the same time. It's kinda easy to look like a Jedi Master when everyone else sucks. Boba Fett, a skilled bounty hunter, can't aim either. Boba Fett, badass bounty hunter, goes out like a bitch. I'm surprised that Sarlacc tentacle didn't shoot Han first. Convenient multiple electromagnets on random pirate ship come in way handy.
Thanks for coming after me. I owe you one.
In The Empire Strikes Back, Han tells Luke,
That's 2 you owe me, Junior.
but this is the first time Luke has done anything to return the favor, and suddenly Han has flipped the math where he owes Luke one? When you're a regular-ass stormtrooper and you hear this laugh, don't you have second thoughts?
Then I am a Jedi.
You must confront
Vader.
I guess all the other Jedi had to confront some terrible, extremely difficult evil to become Jedi too, huh?
Is Darth Vader my father?
A rest I need.
God, the cat's out of the bag, and this asshole still won't tell him that Darth Vader is his father.
They're not ready for the burden, were you?
Oh, come on. This is some nonsense here. Don't you think it would have been better to tell him, like, immediately? And then he could have gotten used to the idea before his friends got in trouble? How does becoming a Jedi settle you in for that Darth Vader is your father whopper? Arguably, the training would have been a lot smoother, and you could have prevented him from going so soon.
When gone am I, the last of the Jedi will you be?
Another Yoda lie.
There is another guy.
Yoda survives just long enough to tell Luke a whole bunch of shit he already knew, and then in his last breath finally provides the mere setup to an important bit of new knowledge.
He ceased to be Anakin Skywalker and became Darth Vader.
So, symbolic technicalities prevented me from telling you the real truth. You can see how my hands were tied.
The good man who was your father was destroyed. So what I told you was true, from a certain point of view.
Okay, now Obi-Wan is just being a dick. It was purposely misleading, and he has the gall to say, well, I told you the truth as I knew it to be, but you had to play a game to which only I knew the rules for it to be completely true. Also, you didn't know you were playing a game. And, oh, by the way, I f***ed your mom, too.
But I was amazed how strongly the Force was with him. I took it upon myself to train him as a Jedi.
It was actually Qui-Gon who noticed Anakin's specialness and took it upon himself to train Anakin as a Jedi. I only took over that after Qui-Gon died, but you don't need to know all that right now. You're on a need-to-know basis.
You must face Darth Vader again.
When he left, he hadn't completed the training yet, and they told him not to face Vader. Now he's back, no more training than before, and now he has to face him. But honestly, what else did they even need to teach him? They've said don't give in to your anger, in its many forms, at least 100 times in the last 2 movies. Was there an anger course coming? Was Yoda going to give him special instructor Bruce Banner to help with all that?
The other he spoke of is your twin sister.
I'll let you fill in the blank, since from my arcane Jedi point of view, Leia is your bangable friend you didn't need to know was your sister.
Leia's my sister.
1983 audiences then went, oh my god, what an amazing surprise, this series just keeps... Oh my god, they kissed each other several times in this series, didn't they?
While the fighters fly into the superstructure and attempt to knock out the main reactor.
Death Star has the same weakness as the original Death Star. You know what needs an energy shield? The f***ing main reactor does.
We have stolen a small Imperial shuttle.
Stealing.
That's one.
General, count me in.
I'm with you too.
Where did this asshole come from, and how did he hear that? Does he even know what he signed up for? It could be a gangbang for all he knows. Lando looks confused that he's in a room with giant Millennium Falcon wallpaper in it.
Yes, my master.
The Emperor gives Vader orders and then immediately consults with 2 purple dudes we've never seen before and never see again, making me wonder if the purple dudes are somehow above the Emperor.
Shuttle Tidarium, transmit the clearance code for shield passage.
Hey, isn't that the ship that got stolen from our fleet? Quiet, you.
I'm endangering the mission. I shouldn't have come.
That's correct. Is R2-D2 gliding across thick indoor flora right now? Even if there's a path, this guy's gonna have a hard time gliding over hilly, muddy, grassy land, isn't he? Goddamn, how many people does that f***ing thing hold? I thought it was just Luke and Han in them. Jesus. Why do stormtroopers have different armor everywhere they go? It couldn't be anything to do with the toys, could it?
Go for help! Go!
Go for help? Can't you radio it in?
Jam their comlink.
Yeah, jam their comlink. All speeder bikes come standard with communication jamming devices. Instead of just lightsabering this dickhead, Luke jumps over the dickhead's speeder bike to take him out manually, and much more slowly than necessary. Yeah. Ah! How can I possibly avoid this stomp? Oh, I should have gone over it. Well, I'm dead. The Ewok haters. Wicket is cool with me, and I'm taking a sin off just for how cute Wicket is, and you can all suck my furry ass if you have a problem with it. That said, the cuteness of Ewoks are the reason Jar Jar Binks exists, even though chronologically Jar Jar came first.
You want something to eat?
Leia offers alien food to an Endor Moonanite. There's no stormtrooper alive who could walk through this forest without making a sound.
My son is with them.
Are you sure?
Aren't you the Emperor? Wouldn't you know?
He will come to me.
I have foreseen it.
Even though I did not foresee that he was on the moon right now, but whatever. In this huge entire moon of Endor, Luke just happens to wander by Leia's discarded helmet.
I'm afraid that our 2 sensors can find no trace of Princess Leia.
Then our 2 sensors aren't worth because she was all over this joint just a little bit ago, and even Luke's faulty Jedi Spidey sense thinks you're wrong. Literal Deus Ex Machina.
But I do believe they think I am some sort of god.
They think I'm some sort of god cliché.
It's against my programming to impersonate a deity.
What, because it's lying? You've lied plenty of times in this series, so if it's specifically impersonating a deity, that is some very specific programming. Did that Ewok just speak Jabba's name 3 times? That's some Candyman right there. The Ewoks are basically furry Lost Boys, only with fewer assholes among them. Too many minutes of Ewok cultural misunderstanding bullshit.
3PO, tell them they must be set free.
Gupta Toto. Kini Chatu Tomo Tipip.
But it's against his programming, right? He can't impersonate a deity, therefore he cannot give orders to the Ewoks. QED.
Tell them if they don't do as you wish, you'll become angry and use your magic.
And here he is again, pretending to be a deity. What the hell was all that nonsense before they got dragged here? If Luke can do this, why can't he untie the ropes?
Princess Leia was a Watma Atu.
C-3PO's story of Star Wars highlights how very little there is to Return of the Jedi. Mainly because there's time for this. All that stuff that happens in Jedi could have been settled in an hour, but Jabba the Hutt lasts nearly 40 minutes, and then they sandwich the Ewoks into this thing for even more exciting waiting around.
She died when I was very young.
Leia has memories of Natalie Portman.
The Force is strong in my family. My father has it. I have it. My sister has it.
Damn, that took 2 minutes to get around to the crux of this story, and he still doesn't even come out and say it.
It's you, Leia.
I know. Somehow, I've always known.
Even during this scene?
I can't tell you.
This secret will make you explode, Han.
Could you tell Luke? Is that who you could tell?
Star Wars General Hospital. The Death Star still has the same progress it did at the beginning of the movie. These assholes aren't doing jack to build the rest of it. Wait, earlier Luke told Leia he could feel that Vader was on this very moon right now. But then this scene suggests Vader is only just now arriving on this very moon.
The Emperor has been expecting you.
I know, Father.
Motherfather, this dialogue is stilted.
I see you have constructed a new lightsaber. Your skills are complete.
When did the lightsaber weaving class take place on Dagobah? Or do you just know how to make one after various Force-related activities?
Indeed, you are powerful, as the Emperor has foreseen.
There is never a realistic moment that we see where Luke becomes a badass Jedi. At the end of Empire, he was more mature, he'd seen some but not quite awesome yet. This movie is apparently set a whole year after the last one, although it's incredible to think that they waited that long to save Han. I guess in the meantime, Obi-Wan conducted ghost stops with Luke, but the movie wants him to be awesome right now, with no hint of the journey that got him to this place.
All craft, prepare to jump into hyperspace on my mark.
All right, stand by.
Wait, what? You're standing by and he hasn't given any order, but you still instantly jump your ass to hyperspace? Chain of command, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Look, over there!
It takes 75% of the guards to go after this one Ewok. Apparently the door opens when you shoot it.
Everything that has transpired has done so according to my design.
Really? Even the destruction of the first Death Star? Even Luke and Leia's birth?
It was I who allowed the Alliance to know the location of the shield generator.
And part of that plan was hoping they would steal one of your ships so they could make it to Endor? How did you make that possible, or know it would happen? They very nearly weren't allowed in because Vader sensed Luke was on the ship. Also, why not have 2 shield generators? One you tell the Alliance about, one that's secret. Just in case the rebels, however unlikely, manage to destroy the one that you've let them know exists. That's maybe a little unfair of me to bring up, but seems like more could have been done with this plan to ensure the rebel defeat. Han's allowed to throw this rather than just get blasted.
Red Leader standing by.
Gray Leader standing by.
Remember the first movie when you loved this shit? Well, swallow a couple spoonfuls more. None of them can hit shit.
Strike me down with it. Give in to your anger.
I really don't understand how he suddenly becomes a bad person if he kills Vader and the Emperor. The story requires them to die if the rebels are to win. So if Luke can't turn Vader, is he supposed to kill these guys with warm feelings? Any reason why our heroes are merely prisoners and not shot to death?
Were you looking for me? Bring those 2 down here!
2? You definitely only saw 1. In addition to having terrible aim, stormtroopers are also known for being easily taken down by a pack of basically living teddy bears. Can arrows really pierce stormtrooper armor? Good God, man. Being hit by these things at this speed and falling this kind of distance would not hurt anyone. Once on the ground, the stormtrooper is cuddled to death. Oh, come on! This is useless. You might as well be dropping hopes and dreams on the walkers. I mean, how do ordinary rocks drop from 30 feet, not just bounce the f*** off a stormtrooper uniform? This battle is all the stupid. Haha, so cute. F*** you.
Fire at will, Commander.
I can't prove it because I'm too lazy to just open the other movie and check, but I think this is recycled Death Star firing footage from A New Hope. And if it's not, it's close enough to be sinned anyway.
Han will have that shield down.
Han? Like ham? The f***? Why does Han's best friend mispronounce his name? Han and Leia somehow find cover in this position.
Come on!
Last time you shut the f***ing door and it opened. Now you need R2 to open the door. And oh look, the Empire still uses R2 compatible hardware.
Well, I suppose I could hardwire this thing.
What? Since this Death Star beam can only fire in a straight line, shouldn't all the big rebel ships just start flying around in circles and shit?
Your fleet is lost.
Man, these scenes are tedious. Basically, the Emperor invited Luke here so that he could narrate the rebels' doom to him the whole time, and repeat things over and over. Is there a path to the dark side through boredom? Let the Ewok, who is without sin, cast the first stone. Damn, why didn't they do this in the first place, rather than trying that hang glider rock drop bullshit from earlier? The flaws of a robotic walker are exposed yet again. Han cops a feel after Leia gets shot in the arm.
Use your aggressive feelings, boy. Let the hate flow through you.
I still don't know how this takes you to the dark side, but I guess the Force is unforgiving when it comes to killing absolute evil. You have no recourse after you've aggressively killed your father. If only you could find a nicer way.
Obi-Wan has taught you well.
There he is, giving Obi-Wan all the credit again. Does Yoda not make any ripples in the Force?
I will not fight you, Father.
I mean, any more than I already have and stuff.
We need reinforcements to continue the pursuit.
Send 3 squads to help.
First off, apparently there are no identification protocols with the Empire anymore after that first movie.
Who is this? What's your operating number?
So this works. Also, how are there any Empire guys left? You had a whole army outside waiting for them. And you still have enough for 3 squads who were previously sitting around just jacking off, even as the Ewoks began winning?
Good.
Does the Emperor not realize that taunting makes somebody not want to do what you want them to do? The shield generator is a super huge satellite thing, so while Luke was down here, why couldn't he turn the satellite in a different direction, and maybe even break it, using the Force? Hell, Magneto could do it in X-Men First Class. You're gonna tell me Luke couldn't do it? Force lightning is introduced as a power 10 minutes from the end of the 3rd movie.
Now, young Skywalker, you will die.
Then kill him already! No, with the rules set so strictly for Luke so that he can't kill these Sith Lords without turning to the dark side, with his only hope being able to turn Vader somehow, I can't imagine a scenario that's luckier, other than finding out that Leia is adopted. Just as luckily, there's a place in this room where Vader can let gravity decide this. That said...
That was too close.
The real question is, why is there a ship-sized path to get to the power generator? The arrogance and stupidity of the Empire is amazing. Hey, that doesn't look like James Earl Jones. Anakin Skywalker does not disappear all Jedi-like, as Obi-Wan did and Yoda did. And he's clearly going to heaven because he shows up later during the Ewok Jubilee. Luke, who had no idea what else was going on, manages to make peace with his dying father and board a shuttle just in time to barely escape these goddamn flames from the Death Star explosion. Every one of the heroes are a bunch of lucky bastards. Didn't it take forever to get to the middle of this thing with lots of twisty passages? And why does the Death Star not immediately explode like it did the first time?
I'm sure Luke wasn't on that thing when it blew.
He wasn't. I can feel it.
I can tell because Luke told me I had Force power, and now I can use that power without any training.
You love him, don't you?
Yes.
Leia answers this question as if she actually told Han about Luke being her brother earlier, even though she kept it a secret for no reason.
He's my brother.
Han's probably also thinking of this scene. Digital cheering. George Lucas doesn't resist the temptation to the dark side and defiantly puts Jar Jar Binks in the original f***ing trilogy. Maybe I don't like the Ewoks like I did when I was a kid, and this new music isn't all that bad, but the Yub Nub song was a pretty fitting ending. And yet, now it's changed to something more special. Not only do you get to go to heaven, Anakin, you get to be your young prequel self again, while Obi-Wan and Yoda stay old as shit.
But it appears you are to be the main course at a banquet in my honor.
Shut your eyes, Mary, and don't look at it no matter what happens.
My world is fire and blood.
Hey, don't tase me, bro! Don't tase me!
Look at the blood! Gotcha! Everything is proceeding as I have foreseen.
Maniacal laugh. Maniacal laugh. Maniacal laugh.
I'm endangering the mission. I shouldn't have come.
I'm getting what I deserve. I'm reaping what I sow.
You think they're supers?
Yes, remember what Mom said.
Remember, only you can prevent forest fires.
Arizona moon, keep shining from the desert sky above.
Use your aggressive feelings, boy. Let the hate flow through through you.
Give real money if he'd shut up.
Search your feelings, Father. You can't do this. I feel the conflict within you. Let go of your hate.
We are the United States government. We don't do that sort of thing.